Do you remember this photograph? This is from the 2018 Asian Games in Jakarta when Arshad Nadeem and Neeraj Chopra finished on the podium. Back then, Neeraj took gold, and this image featuring these two, where they were bowing down in respect to each other, became a symbol of cross border unity in an age where these two countries, India and Pakistan, find each other at constant loggerheads geopolitically. That wasn't the first time that they had met in an international competition, and it certainly wouldn't be the last. These two, Arshad and Neeraj, have very different career trajectories, very different systems that they belong to, very different backgrounds, very, very different competitive trajectories as well. But what brings them together is their love for javelin. This little story had another chapter added to it at the 2024 Paris Olympic Games, except there was a slight reversal of roles. Arshad took the podium this time, winning gold, his maiden Olympic gold, and the first individual gold for Pakistan in track and field history at the Olympics. Neeraj took silver for his attempts, while Anderson Peters took bronze. This was the most competitive javelin field in an Olympic final that we've seen in a very long time. We saw a bulk of the field go through to the finals in their first attempt itself, and a whole lot of them also managed to get comfortably across that 84-meter qualifying mark, rather than just having to depend on the second and third best distances. So when the final came calling, we knew that a lot of these players seemed to be in very, very good rhythm. People like Jakub Wadlek, Julian Weber, Julius Diego, Anderson Peters. We saw all of these people trying to hone their skills in the months running up to the Paris Olympics in trying to get back on that podium. But when the big final came, the show became only about these two men, Arshad and Neeraj. I don't know if it's nerves or if it was the track, but we saw a lot of foul throws going in this men's javelin final. Several of them slipped a little bit close to the run-up point. I guess the track was just a little fast. We haven't really heard anything from the athletes per se because they were just focusing on how their throws went and how their techniques went. But on a night where everyone seemed to be struggling to find the right technique on that track, Arshad Nadeem very nonchalantly came and threw 92.97 meters to completely obliterate the Olympic record in men's javelin. The earlier mark was in the 90-meter mark, and he just comfortably breached that with his throw, and that throw would eventually end up sealing gold for him. This throw of Arshad came in the second attempt of his. The first one saw him being a little nervy. He came right up till his release point and then ended up just walking back and redoing the run again, and that didn't go very well, that first throw. And at that time, I won't lie to you, I thought, oh God, are the nerves of the big occasion really getting to him? Because he's constantly spoken about bettering that fifth place finish in Tokyo. He's been making a case for his talent in several international tournaments since, be it the Commonwealth Games, the Asian Games, Diamond League, the World Championships. This was finally his stage to do it. And I, for one, thought, oh God, is this going to, botch up in some sort of way? But that was not to be. That 92.97 meter monstrous throw was enough to completely rattle the field. And the person who was most rattled by it was Neeraj. We saw Neeraj constantly gruntling and he was very pumped up. He was very restless as he tried to stir some sort of extra energy in him to breach that 92-meter mark. Now remember, Neeraj has been very, very consistent, if not the most consistent javelin thrower in this period between the Tokyo Olympics and the Paris Olympics. This despite him dealing with very persistent groin issues and an adductor problem which he now realizes he needs to attend to in a more serious manner. So he's done 87, 88, 89 quite comfortably and consistently, but he's still to date not managed to breach that 90-meter mark. And to ask that of an athlete, even if that athlete is as world-class as Neeraj, in an Olympic final where you have a stadium just screaming at you, pumping you up, and there's so many things going, and then you have this tall Pakistani who's just come and very casually thrown the javelin like it's some stick till about 93 meters, is a very, very hard ask. And ultimately, it did not happen. Neeraj had just one legal throw in the night, an 89.54, which is his second highest mark that he's managed in javelin, and that just wasn't enough for him to get anything further than a silver medal. Now, this video is not about technique or what just happened here or anything else. This video is just a tribute to the talent that is Arshad Nadeem. For years, we've seen Arshad becoming this feel-good story about an India-Pakistan friendship wherever Neeraj is participating. But today, he is the main character of the story. And Arshad Nadeem's story is nothing short of remarkable. When Arshad won gold at the Paris Olympics, we saw him with his country's flag, we saw him in his country's kit, we saw his coach cheering him on very, very vigorously from the stands. But a couple of years earlier, we didn't see any of these things associated with him. There was a time when he didn't have a flag to drape himself with, and Neeraj took him on under his wing when they were celebrating the podium. But things are a little different for Arshad. So let's quickly look back at his beginnings and how far he's come in the sport and what this gold medal could potentially do for him. Arshad hails from Mianchanu in Punjab in Pakistan. He is one of 7 siblings and his father was a construction worker. In the earlier days, there were times when this family didn't have enough to eat on a day-to-day basis. Meat was something that they would eat just once a year, perhaps, on Eid. And his brother, in several interviews in and around Pakistani media and in media in that part of the world, has often spoken about how if these guys had lentils and vegetables on their plate every day, they would consider themselves lucky. As a youngster, Arshad was very interested in sport and he took up the very usual plethora of sports like cricket, football, hockey, kabaddi, which is very, very popular in this part of the world. He was a very mean fast bowler. In his own words, he's often spoken about how if he had stuck with the game, he would have become as fast or even faster than Shoaib Akhtar. But we'll never know. We're still getting to see his prowess with his arm in javelin. Arshad's father wasn't very keen with him pursuing a career in cricket. So with that door closed, Arshad started competing in track and field events. And in 2011, Rashid Ahmed Saki, a hotelier and someone who used to invest and scout for athletic talent, ended up seeing him compete somewhere and then decided to take him under his wing. He became his first coach and mentor. There was a time when Arshad did not know that javelin requires a certain set of spike shoes which you have to wear to compete. He didn't know what they were and he didn't own a pair either. Rashid is the one who got him his first pair. Arshad also credits Saki with helping him find a job in the water and power department in Pakistan. This job ended up being very crucial for Arshad because it's one of the few ways that he's able to support his athletics career through. This job with the Water and Power Development Authority is one thing. They have him on a monthly retainer. He also has 3 sponsors, a clothing line, a shoe manufacturer and a car manufacturer. And now there is also the concept of prize money from several international events. He got about $35,000 from Budapest, and as the gold medal winner at the Paris Olympic Games, he's set to win $50,000. This is a lot of money for somebody who just a couple of months ago put out an appeal on social media asking for help to procure a new javelin. Arshad had put out a post saying that the javelin that he was using since 2015, which was the only world-class javelin that he owned, was damaged. And this was a plea that even caught Neeraj Chopra's eye, who then ended up vouching for him and calling for better support for an athlete like this. All of this happened on one side. Arshad, with his frame and with just javelin being a very difficult sport on the body, has also had to deal with a lot of injuries. Most recently, he has had problems with his elbow, with his knee, with his calf. And that's sort of hampered how much he's able to participate or how well he's able to participate in the events he actually makes it for. Even in this year, he wanted to start his season in February, but he ended up having a major surgery to his knee. He missed a couple of events to give his knee enough time to recuperate so that he could be at his best in Paris. This Arshad versus Neeraj comparison is very, very poignant if you do it in terms of how their preparations are in the run-up to certain events. Neeraj has a very set team now. There's a biomechanic expert who's also his coach. He's got a physio. He's got a team of people who are constantly working on him. Whereas Arshad has often had to make do with the bare minimum to sort of get by and compete at the highest level. What really helps him is his build. He's naturally very gifted, naturally very strong. So while Neeraj finds his strength from balance, flexibility, core strength, and has to exert his body a fair amount to really get something like that going, if you look at the men's javelin final, Arshad, even in his poorest of attempts, was able to breach the 80-meter mark. And a little bit of refinement of technique and just getting all those elements and his body and mind in rhythm helped him breach that 90 meters not once, but twice. These are the kind of stories that Pakistan sports needs. As Indians, we know what Neeraj Chopra's gold medal did for us. We know just how much it kickstarted a conversation about investing in athletics, investing in sports outside mainstream ones like cricket and football, having more competitions, having more talent, exposing the competitive pool that we do have to higher levels of competing. Hopefully, Arshad Nadeem's medal does that for Pakistan. Hopefully, Arshad Nadeem's medal brings him better support, better services, better facilities, better infrastructure, so he can compete consistently with Neeraj on the international stage. Arshad made his Diamond League debut sometime earlier this year, so even though he's been around, he's been slow to catch up with everybody else in the ecosystem. He doesn't do all of this alone. While he's training alone in Punjab, he's got his wife and kids back home that he usually spends most part of the year away from. So this gold medal is going to be extremely special for Arshad. He knew that despite doing that 92.97, he knew he had it in him to breach that mark a little more. And he kept trying to do that and got visibly frustrated when he realized the javelin hadn't gone too far. But I think the best moment of the night, more than his 92.97, which of course set it up, would be that 90-meter throw again at the last throw of the night, where he sealed his dominance on this final. Arshad is a soft-spoken guy, doesn't say too much, keeps to himself, likes to train by himself, usually has very grueling training schedules, and he's worked his way through, just ground his way through injuries and a lack of system to support him. After the World Championships, Arshad Nadeem had told this publication that he wished to see Neeraj on the podium. He wished for a 1-2 for India and Pakistan on the podium. He's got his wish, except it's swapped a little bit. He's taken that podium top step. And while it is heartbreak for several Indian fans and for Neeraj himself, who looked visibly upset with himself and with his performance, given that half his mind was just focusing on the groin injury that he's got, this is just a sign of more things to come. It's a sign of a rivalry, of a bunch of friends who are able to compete at the highest level. And South Asian sport could ask for nothing better.